Hi, Zach. I think by the time the season came to a halt, you were dealing with an injury. I assume that's fully healed. Just how frustrating was that? It seemed like you had really found a role or found a way to play with this team for the first time.
Yeah, it's kind of been like that. The story the last 3 years, honestly, just playing well and then get injured and have a big setback. But this year was a little different. I was kind of rolling, um, 50 or 60 games and no issues and playing really well with Tanev and Bluger. I think we're a really good line. Um, so it sucked a lot, honestly, just having to be sidelined again. But what sucks even more is I was about to come back. I was feeling really good, and then season got canceled.
Next question's from Michelle. Go ahead, Mish.
Well, Czar, now that you're back and you're with those two, just how has it been being reunited with them? And then when you guys are at your best, what do you think is the identity of your line?
It feels really good to be back with those guys. Like it's been a while, but like nothing has changed. Tans is still yelling at everyone, and Teddy still is same stoic self. So I think we kind of bring just Tans obviously brings a lot of speed and energy, and with his attitude and just the way he is as a person. But beyond that, just the way we're able to forecheck and maintain pressure. And I know we're not on the score sheet every night, but I think we kind of set the line up, the next line going out there up for a good opportunity to score. We're able to shut down other teams' top lines. So to have that versatility is pretty good.
Next question's from Josh. Go ahead, Josh.
Hey, Zach, kind of backing off what Michelle just asked. As far as your line is concerned with Teddy and Brandon, how did the chemistry come about? How did you guys grow as a group throughout the year, obviously being put together so early in the season and kind of building to what you are now? Was it something pretty quick? Did you guys get along pretty easily? How did that all develop?
Yeah, we got along pretty easy. I find that just whether you've just met the guy or known him for a while, if you've played college hockey, there's just that immediate bond. And there's mutual friends and there's mutual stories and things that you've gone through. So just having that initial bond off the start is pretty big. And then, I played with Teddy and Wilkes. We've never played on a line together, but we always would kill penalties or play overtime together. So him and I kind of knew how each other played. And it's not too hard to play with Tans. He's kind of full speed ahead. So yeah, it kind of just gelled right away. And another aspect of the line is I think we're pretty comfortable kind of holding each other accountable, whether if someone makes a bad play or something, just kind of letting them know or just talking about it and kind of moving forward with it.
Next question's from Dayon. Go ahead, Dayon.
Zach, going back to the time that you were out there near the end, when you watched your line mates on the ice from afar, from upstairs, what did you learn, if anything, from your role in that line by not seeing yourself out there? Do you follow what I'm saying here?
Yeah. I think it kind of just, and it changes things up a little bit, but I think they had Evan kind of slotted in there, and he did a great job with them as well. But just watching from above, I mean, you kind of see how good and underrated I think Teddy and Tans really are. They create a lot, and you watch those two on the penalty kill together, and I mean, it seems like every game they're getting a 2-on-1 or a scoring chance. So it was good to see. I mean, it's always frustrating having to watch from the stands um, and thinking, like, oh, if I was out there, I'd do this, I'd do that. But it's just kind of a negative way to think. And, um, I'm happy those two guys had a good season, and I'm excited to be back with them.
Next question's from Matt Vensel. Go ahead, Matt.
Hey, Zach. What are you going to do with Carl? I know some people are leaving their families, and not to make light of that, but you got a puppy. You have an Instagram account for him. I mean, what's it
Yeah.
like for a doggy dad leaving your kid or leaving your dog in the bubble?
Yeah. It's definitely going to be a little bit tough. We've created a pretty good bond, but I'm going to Saturday. My parents are going to drive halfway, and I'm going to drive halfway. So meet in between here in New York, and they're going to pick him up and take him back to New York for the time being. Hopefully 3 months, 2 months, whatever.
Next question's from Seth. Go ahead, Seth.
Hey, Zach. Teddy Bluger was out here and Evan as well. They were out here for about 20, 25 minutes working on face-offs. It seems like Teddy's always doing that. With the last guy off the ice, working on some little thing. For as long as you've been his teammate, has he always been like that, even going back to Wilkes-Barre, like working on those little things?
He's always been like that. I mean, I would stay out for an extra 20 or 30 in Wilkes, and he would stay out 30 minutes after that. Then I just remember he would do this crazy thing in the gym where he would do a 10-minute ride on like the highest gear. So it like it's just like barely pedaling at all. And he would do that for 10 minutes pretty much after every practice. I mean, he's always kind of had that mindset, and it's been that way ever since I've been a Penguin.
Next question's from Dayon. Go ahead.
Zach, has there been any kind of focus or emphasis on your end simply on finishing, on finishing plays? Is it something that we know you have in your arsenal? We know it's something that you brought into the league, and especially when you first burst in.
Yeah, we've had quite a bit of time the last month and a half. Something that I've been working on a little bit. I switched my stick up to the same stick I had senior year of college, so feeling a lot more confident with the puck and shooting the puck. And I know it's a little crazy, but just making that switch kind of helped me a lot. And for me though, this time I've honestly been trying to work on my skating a little bit. I feel like that's something that always needs a little bit of improvement, and kind of working on tight turns and being able to move in and out of pockets, down low and behind the net.
Okay, our last question comes from Michelle Cracciola. Go ahead, Michelle.
All right, Zach, this is a little bit off the wall, but I was curious, like, when did you get your first haircut of quarantine? And has it been kind of funny seeing like the guys who have like Tanev, I know, has had longer hair, like some guys grow the hair. Like, there been a lot of trips going around the room about that kind of stuff?
Yeah, so I actually got my haircut like the day, maybe 2 days before quarantine started. And I was living with Rusty, and his brother-in-law and Rusty's wife gave both of them haircuts, but I just didn't want to do that. And I know a lot of guys right now, Gensey just cut his hair. I've been on the fence whether or not I should cut it. I think Marino's getting his haircut today, so it's definitely a good question, and I don't know what I'm gonna do.